Let this represent the median house price in Australia. $1 million. This is what $5 million looks like. This is what $100 million would look like. And this is what $1 billion would look like. Harry Triguboff, the founder of Meriton, has built a property empire worth nearly $30 billion. That's 30 times what we just showed you. And then there's you. You're probably working a job right now. Maybe you're renting, watching your savings disappear into someone else's mortgage. Or perhaps you scraped together a deposit and now you're locked into a 30-year home loan with repayments that you struggle to meet, knowing you probably won't pay it off until you're well into retirement. Your living expenses seem ridiculously high. The cost of groceries, petrol, electricity, everything keeps rising. Meanwhile, house prices have doubled, tripled in some areas over the last 2 decades, while your wages haven't kept pace. You feel priced out, locked out, like the dream of owning property, of building wealth through real estate, has slipped through your fingers before you even had a chance. Maybe you're a Gen Z, looking at the property market and thinking, how will I ever afford this? Or maybe you already own, but you're drowning in debt, watching others with multiple properties build empires while you struggle with one. How do people like Harry Triguboff build billion-dollar property portfolios? How do your mates own 3, 4, 5 investment properties while you can barely afford rent? You might be thinking, did they get lucky? Did they buy decades ago when house prices were cheap? Did they have family money? Is the system rigged? Are you on the losing side of it? But what if I told you that last part was absolutely right? What if we are playing a rigged game? What if there's a reason Australian house prices keep rising while other countries experience crashes? What if there's an actual mechanism, a pattern, a deliberate structure that's been keeping you out while pumping prices higher and higher? Would you call me a conspiracy theorist for saying so? I promise that I'm not. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how the game is played, who's playing it, and why you've been losing. But I warn you, the truth is uncomfortable. It involves swallowing some difficult realities about our economy, our government, and our banking system that most people don't want to face. Still with me? Then let's not waste any more time. Let me ask you something. When you think about property, how do you see it? Is it a home, an investment, or is it your ticket to wealth and freedom? Because the truth is, not everyone sees property the same way. Let me show you something important. Look at this graph. Median house prices over the last 30 years across major countries. Notice the pattern? Boom. Bust. Boom. Bust. The US crashed 30 to 50% in 2008. The UK is declining now. Canada just had major corrections, but here's the key one. New Zealand, our neighbours across the Tasman, similar government structure, lifestyle, culture. They just went through a property bubble and crash. House prices fell significantly after years of growth. Yet Australia just keeps going up. Even during 2008, when property markets everywhere were collapsing by 30 to 50%, Australia dropped just 6.4%. So what makes us different? Here's what they don't tell you. Australia's property market hasn't avoided crashes because of strong fundamentals. Sure, we have mining wealth and high immigration, but that's not the whole story. It hasn't kept rising because Australian property is inherently more valuable than property anywhere else in the world. It keeps rising because the government won't let it fall. Let me show you the pattern. 2000, first homeowner grant when houses were under pressure. 2008, first homeowner boost during the GFC. 2020, home builder grants during COVID. 2024, Help to Buy scheme, 5% deposits for first home buyers, home guarantee scheme, housing support program, Housing Australia Future Fund. Can you see the pattern? Every time there's economic pressure, the government intervenes. Grants, stimulus, anything to keep people buying houses. But government policy is only half the story. Let's talk about banks. Decades ago, mortgages were simple. 30% deposit, 15 to 20 year terms, strict lending. property prices were stable and affordable. Then in the 1980s, everything changed. The Hawke-Keating government deregulated our banking system. Foreign banks entered the market. Interest rates were freed up. The Australian dollar was floated, opening us to global capital flows. This unshackled mortgage lending. Banks suddenly had access to more money and fewer restrictions, so they began competing to lend more aggressively. The result? Deposits dropped from 30% to 20% to 10% to 5%. Loan terms extended from 15 years to 40 years. Interest-only loans, low doc loans, every creative product imaginable. And here's what's critical to understand, that banks really want this. More loans means more interest, more profit. As long as prices keep rising, the risk seems minimal. What actually determines the price of a house? Is it simply an agreement between two people? Is it supply and demand? Is it the attractiveness of the property? What makes one house more valuable than another? It's actually a little bit deeper than that, and this is where people get very confused. Yes, a property price is determined by location, desirability, supply and demand, but ultimately, it's what people can afford to pay. Here's what really happens. The ceiling of what people can borrow sets the outer limit of what houses cost. If banks lend $800,000, that becomes the market ceiling. If they increase the credit limit to $1.2 million, prices rise to meet it. The more credit that's available, the more buyers can pay. And when everyone can borrow more, they do, pushing the ceiling higher for the next sale and the next valuation and the next loan. But here's the question nobody wants to ask. Can this continue forever? Remember New Zealand? They believed their property market was different too, but here's what caused their housing market to drop. First, interest rates skyrocketed. The Reserve Bank hiked rates hard to fight inflation, and suddenly, mortgages cost twice as much to service. Second, credit tightened. Banks pulled back on lending and buyers simply couldn't borrow what they could 2 years ago. Third, government policy shifted. Tax changes and tougher rules made property investing less attractive. And finally, sentiment turned. When prices stopped rising, fear replaced FOMO. Buyers stepped back and sellers had to adjust. Result, prices fell 17% nationally, over 20% in major cities. So how does Harry Triguboff build a $30 billion property empire? He understands the rules of the game better than anyone. He knows what people want, where they want it, and how to deliver it profitably. He's not fighting the system, he's working with it. So let's be clear about what's happening in Australia. Our property market hasn't kept rising because our houses are inherently better. It's rising because credit keeps expanding, and banks will always find new ways to put more money into the hands of consumers. Every time the system tightens, a new product, a new grant, or a new policy appears. That's what keeps the machine running. But that doesn't mean it can run forever. Past intervention doesn't guarantee future intervention. Interest rate risk is real, and over-leveraging, borrowing too much because property always goes up, has the potential to destroy more wealth than bad investments ever have. I think about property investing as a road from where you are to where you want to be. For some, it's the road to financial freedom, the path to security and choice. But not everyone gets to where they want to be. Some people take wrong turns, others push too hard, too fast, and end up off the edge. The truth is, even the best roads have dangerous stretches. Markets correct, cycles turn. And when they do, those who understand how the game works and when to take profits, reduce risk and protect themselves from the downside are the ones who keep going. That fear you feel when prices rise, that urgency, that FOMO, that may not be accidental. It's the inevitable result of a system built on credit, restricted supply and policy support. Most people play the game without ever seeing the board, but now you do. You understand the rules, the players, and the risks. So whatever road you choose, whether you invest, wait, or look for opportunity elsewhere, at least now you're doing it with your eyes open. Hi, it's Shane from Bourdain Property Advisory. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. Honestly, hand on heart, I really appreciate it. These videos take a lot of time and effort to make. But we do it because we think it's important that more people understand the bigger picture when it comes to property and the economy. What you've just watched is my interpretation, my opinion, based on years of experience and research. It's for educational purposes only. Always do your own research and always seek professional advice before making big financial decisions. Property investing can be one of the most powerful ways to build freedom, security, and give you the lifestyle you want, if you do it wisely. But blindly following the herd isn't a strategy. And if you're paying attention or if you're listening to ordinary advice, that's when people can get caught out. Over the years, we've been really fortunate to learn from incredible mentors, people who've built portfolios of hundreds of properties, but we've also seen the flip side. People who have made the fortunes and lost it all through over-leveraging and poor timing. That's exactly why we make these videos, to help you step back, think bigger picture, and make your decisions with your eyes open. So if this video made you pause and think differently, even just a little, then it's job done. Thanks again for watching. Follow us here at Bourdain for more insights to help you invest smarter, safer, and with real confidence. Take care, we'll catch you next time. Bye.